What's going on, guys? Afk Obby here, and today we're going to be talking about a post that Madaiza made on Reddit. It's a news post about the new polling system. Long story short, the current approach is a develop, design, document, production, blog. Production continues, the poll passes, and then they release it. The new approach is a concept pitch, poll passes, production, design refinement, poll passes, production, then release. Tons of more steps. A lot of content creators have already went over exactly what this process is going to be like. I don't want to do that. I want to go through a post made by, I'm going to butcher this name, Yeshua Hamasiach, and it's a compilation of polls that would have passed with a 70% yes vote since 2018. This might not mean anything to you right now, but the new polling changes, everything 70% and up that has a yes vote will be passed, whereas everything right now is 75% and above is passing. I'm going to go through PVM. They also posted skilling, questing, and miscellaneous, as well as PvP. PvP I think has the most. But before we get started in there, if this is your first time viewing my daily obby, I'm going to try to upload a daily obby almost every day. I would love for it to be every day, but sometimes almost. If you make videos, you understand it's a lot to do. I completely forgot that they added a 25-minute logout timer. So today I got all 75 Castle War tickets. And I'm going to get my Halo really quick. And then I believe I'm just going to quest. It's going to be a nice and chill video. Okay, so the first category they have is PVM. Oh my god. The Halo is not in free-to-play, just the tickets. Yay! Okay, so whatever. We're going to bond up eventually, but that was just a kick in the groin. Alright, so for PVM, should we change the drop rate of the Jar of Darkness from 1 out of 2,500 to 1 out of 500? 72% said yes. So that would have passed. Like I said, everything right now is 75% and up. With the new change, everything 70% and up is going to pass. So this is going through everything that was between that 70% and that 75% that failed. Should the Twisted Ornament kit be tradable? This will consume the kit when used. 72.7% said yes. And everything in these categories I believe is newest to oldest. So like the should we change drop rate of the Jar of Darkness from yada yada to yada yada, I think that's the newest. And then the very last one I'll say for this category is the oldest. The third one is, if the Theater of Blood is added to the game, should it be possible to combine a Super Combat Potion, Range Potion, Magic Potion, Vial of Blood, and Tourstol to create a Totality Potion? 71.5% said yes. It would require 96 Herblore and it would grant 180 Herblore experience. And it would pretty much be all of those potions just put together. If the Theater of Blood is added to the game, should it be possible to combine a Vial of Blood, Amelie's Crystal, and Ranar Weed to create a Vigor Potion? I might have butchered that too. The potion restores prayer points, as well as applying a weak stamina potion effect that lasts for 1 minute instead of 2. Mixing it will require 88 Herblore and grants 110 Herblore experience. 72.2 said yes as well. Then to keep on the Theater of Blood, it says, if the Theater of Blood is added to the game, should it be possible to combine a Vial of Blood, Ranar Weed, Snapdragon, and Snape Grass to create a Super Prayer Potion? It would restore prayer points, restore an additional 6 prayer points over 30 seconds at a rate of 1 point per 5 seconds. Mixing it would require 91 Herblore and grant 120 Herblore experience. 71.7% said yes. Should Vampirium Vambraces be a potential reward from the final boss of the Theater of Blood? The Vambraces require 75 range and defense to equip. The Vampirium Vambraces are tradable and do not degrade. 74.9% said yes. That was 0.1% away from passing. And I think they said only 6% of active players even vote on this to begin with. This is my first iron, by the way, so if I'm doing something completely wrong, feel free to let me know. I'm just trying to keep you guys entertained by doing some questing. Those were all of the PVM changes in the last only 5 years. Again, the first one that I mentioned in the skilling categories are the most recent. The last ones are like the least recent, they're the oldest. For skilling, should the Ring of Elements be made available in free-to-play? 74.8% said yes. 0.2% from passing. If Shooting Stars is added, should we add the Untradeable Essence pack as a reward? These packs will give 100 pure essences when opened. 73.4% said yes. Should we allow players to bring stamina and energy potions into the Rogue's Den? 73.2% said yes. I don't want to give my opinion on too many of these, but I would love that. And I feel like it doesn't take long to really get all of your pieces though. If question 19 passes, should the Hollowed Treasure sack contain a guaranteed 50 Amylized crystals as part of the 100,000 GP value of the sack? 73.4% said yes. Should players be able to add crystal dust to Bastion potions as described in the blog? Is that Bastion? Bastion? This will require 86 Herblore and will create a Divine Bastion potion which provides the same stat boost except it is renewed every 15 seconds for 5 minutes. If stats are reduced to a level below your base stat, the potion effect will wear off. 73.3% said yes. Should players be able to add crystal dust to battle damage potions as described in the blog? This will require 86 Herblore and will create a Divine Battle Mage potion which provides the same stat boost except it is renewed every 15 seconds for 5 minutes. If stats are reduced to a level below your base stat, the potion's effects will wear off. 73.3% said yes. It seems like so many potions are so close to that 75% threshold. If the Blast Furnace bar stock interface is changed to allow clicking on the icon of the bar to withdraw all, should the current all text option be replaced with a take one option? 70.3% said yes, so that's actually getting kind of close to below 70%. Now we're on to questing. Should we change Trouble Brewing's requirements so that completion of Cabin Fever and level 40 cooking are no longer needed? Again, this one's kind of close to even below 70. It's at 70.9% said yes. Should players be able to bypass the Underground Pass by talking to Kovtik after they have completed the Underground Pass quest? 73.1% said yes. Should players unlock a shortcut after completing the grid puzzle in the Underground Pass allowing them to bypass it? 71.9% said yes. Should players unlock a shortcut after completing the Agility Maze in Underground Pass allowing them to bypass it? 70.4% said yes. That's very borderline for the new system. I think Mod Aiza commented back on a Reddit post and said that they're probably going to be repolling a lot of these. For the miscellaneous category, we have if the Adventurer's Outfit, Giant Stopwatch, and Speedy Teleport Scroll are voted as untradeable, should they be added to the collection log? 71% said yes. Should the energy cost of the Eldritch Nightmare Staff's Invocate special attack be reduced to 50%? 72.3% said yes. Should the Twisted League offer a Twisted League Ancestral Robes Ornament Kit reward as described in the blog? 73.9% said yes. Should players be able to own more than one rune pouch? If this question passes, each one would link to the same store of runes. 74.7% vote. Very close to the current poll system. Should players be able to own more than one looting bag? If this question passes, each one would link to the same store of items. 73.7%. Should players be able to rearrange the order in which prayers appear in the prayer tab? Doing so would not affect the icon size. Almost 73% and 72.6%. If question 4 passes, should the Blade of Saildor have a special attack called Saildor's Strike, costing 100% special attack energy? This attack would deal 50% additional damage. The attack would also knock back and stun enemy players or NPCs that occupy one tile for 4 ticks. However, using the special attack delays your next standard attack by 4 ticks. 70.5% said yes. I don't know how I feel about that one. I feel like if we're in a PvP fight, that kind of just like resets the neutral. Should spell icons increase in size when you have filters enabled to better fit the magic tab? This change would only affect non-PvP areas and affect every spellbook. In PvP locations and relevant PvP worlds, spell icons will not resize and automatically revert to the standard size icons. 73.6% said yeah. Should the model for the Armadale helmet when worn by female players be reworked to more closely resemble the male version? 71.8% said yeah. If the spellbook filters are added to the desktop version, should the size of the spell icons be increased when they're filtered? 74.7% said yes. Should it be possible to continue gaining favor in the various houses of Koren without losing the favor for those you have not already locked in at 100%? Regardless of the result of this poll, we'll also be looking to rebalance favor gain in general. 74.1% said yes. Now we're into the PvP category. Should we enable the special attack orb in the wilderness, PvP worlds, and PvP minigames? 74.6% said yes. Should Moama's, Korif's, and Seika's headgear be added as a reward from the PvP arena as described in the blog? The headgear would only be usable against other players in PvP throughout the wilderness, PvP worlds, and PvP minigames. 70.5% said yes, so that's borderlining that 70%. Should the Calamity armor and its superior and elite variants be added as a reward from the PvP arena as described in the blog? The armor would only be usable against other players in PvP throughout the wilderness, PvP worlds, and PvP minigame. This one literally sits at 70%. I noticed that a lot of these PvP ones sit kinda low. I'm not gonna say that's spite voting, but I'm just saying. Should the fighter's wrist wraps be added as a reward from the PvP arena as described in the blog? These would be an attachment for all the, I'm gonna butcher this, Coloneromancer's gloves with the same stat requirements and would only be usable against other players in PvP throughout the wilderness, PvP worlds, and PvP minigames. 70.5% said yes. Should the ornament kit for Elder Chaos robes, hood, top, and robe be added as a reward from the PvP arena? One kit would be required for each piece. 70.8% said yes. Should the ornament kit for Dagonite robes, hat, robe top, and robe bottom be added as a reward from the PvP arena? One kit would be required for each piece. 70%. It sits right there on the 70%. Should ornament kits for Dragon Claws, Dragon Warhammer, Heavy Ballista, Armadillo, Helm, Chestplate, and Chainskirt, Bandos, Chestplate, Tassets, and Boots, Elder Chaos Robes, Dagonite Robes, and Elder Maul be added as rewards from the PvP arena? 73.8% said yes. Should imbue scrolls be added as a reward from the PvP arena? These would only allow players to imbue the same items currently possible via Soul Wars. 73.9% vote. Should it be possible to use Vesta's longsword in combat against other players in PvP worlds? The longsword would lose all bonuses when used against NPCs, effectively turning it into a cosmetic item. 74.6% yes. If the blighted items are added to the Soul Wars reward shop, should it also be possible to use the spell hacks within the minigame? It would not be possible to use the blighted food or potions. Close. 74.8% said yes. That almost passed in the current poll system. Should an upgrade item for the Abyssal Dagger be added as a very rare reward from bounty crates? This would reduce its special attack energy cost to 25% and increase its accuracy by 20%. 73.2% voted for that. Should we add an ability to purchase the Thamarin set from the LMS reward shop as described in the blog? This set would include the top, bottoms, and hood and will require 60 magic to equip. 70.5% said yes. Should we add an ability to purchase the taunt animation from the LMS reward shop as described in the blog? This will play immediately upon killing a player. 73.6% of these voters are absolutely toxic because that's like teabagging on a finish him screen on Mortal Kombat. Should the LMS reward shop offer combat XP rewards as described in the blog? These will be similar to the combat XP rewards from Pest Control but offer slightly less XP. 74.5% said yes, and I know a couple players that would be absolutely max combat if that were the case. Should the LMS reward shop offer the ability to exchange points similar to the Barbarian Assault point exchange system as described in the blog? These points exchanged will give the players a role on the generic loot table that includes alcohols, useful materials, and supplies. 73.9% said yes. Should the LMS reward shop offer the Rune Berserker shield as described in the blog? This shield will be tradable and degrade. It can be recharged with a token purchase from the LMS reward shop. 70.4% said yes. It's nearing that 70%. I'm not sure that they'll repull it. I would imagine that they would repull everything, right? Should Revenant NPCs have a chance to drop the tradable Ferocious Ring? The Ferocious Ring offers stats similar to that of the unimbued Fremennik rings combined, with the added effect of increasing your accuracy and damage for all combat styles the deeper you venture into the wilderness. The player is constantly scald while wearing the ring. If removed, a normal 20-minute scald will remain. 71.7% voted for that. Should we change it so that you are able to attack your opponent for 6 seconds after they enter a safe zone in PvP worlds? Current players are able to walk in and out of a safe zone and attack without being attacked back. This would only apply to players who have engaged in combat with each other. 73.4% said yes. Imagine. Theater of Blood would have added 3 new higher tier potions. Song of the Elves would have added 2 new higher tier potions. Hallowed Sepulchre would have generated amylized crystals. Underground Pass would have been made much easier to navigate after the first completion. Speedrunning rewards would be a part of the collection log. Eldritch Nightmare Staff special attack Invocate would cost 50% special energy rather than 55%. Players would be able to own more than 1 rune pouch and looting bag. Players would be able to rearrange their prayer book. Players would be able to resize their spells in the filtered spellbook. Blade of Saeldor would have a special attack. Players would be able to use a special attack orb in the wilderness. PvP Arena would have reward Calamity Armor helmets, ornament kits, and blighted sack/imbue rolls. LMS would have rewarded a Thamarin set, Rune Berserker shield, and XP similar to Barbarian Assault. PvP safe zone rules would be different, and Revenants would drop a Ferocious Ring. And just as an added bonus, they had some notable mentions from pre-2018, which is that 5-year threshold that they set. Divine Sigil, yes, 72.8%. Original Inferno, Jad 2, like the best in slot range, melee, and Mage Capes, 72.5% yes. Original Graceful Recolor, 71.8% yes. Hades Cassantius removal, 73.4% yes. Wrath Altar would have been accessible via the Abyss, 73.6% yes. Wines to Wine of Zamorak spell is a 70.5% yes, so kind of that 70% line right there. And a 74% loot share system. Would you guys like a loot share system? Let me know in the comments down below. I know this was a weird episode of the Daily Obby, but I think we got, 3 quests done? We got the 75 tickets today, found out we couldn't get the Halo. Felt pretty dumb about that. If this is some content that you liked, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. I also post daily polls, mostly about Osrs, sometimes about other games like the new Call of Duty dropped. I have a poll about that live right now that you can check out and vote on. If you play it or not, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and vote. You do not have to subscribe to vote, so just go vote. It's great interaction from me to the viewers. I love interacting with you guys. If you go through any of my videos, I literally comment back to every single comment all the time. So if you have any gripes, complaints, if you have any compliments, if you have anything, please feel free to comment it down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely phenomenal day.